Hello everyone. Um, Today, take one, by the way. Um, I'm going to be going over two main topics, which are transgender and non-binary. Two gender identities I identify with myself, and so if you guys don't know, transgender is part of the LGBT community. The LGBT community stands for lesbian, gay, bi, trans. There's also queer, questioning, ident- identity, asexual, ally, two-spirit, list goes on and on. So, two um, gender identities I personally identify with are, like I said, transgender and non-binary. So the definition of transgender, according to Google, is demoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with his, her, or their birth sex. And the quote is a transgender activist and author. And my thing was on the shift key. So, yeah. No sticky keys. Anyway. Technical difficulties. So my pronouns are they or them. I feel very dysphoric, which just means I don't feel like you're talking to me. If like, cause dysphoria means like I'm gonna describe it. It's like a weight on your chest that is there, and you know you can change it, and you want to change it. Imagine like like as an abusive relationship. I'm writing a book about sexual abuse and child molestation. It's very vulgar. Anyway, so imagine an abusive relationship. You want to get out of it. You know how to get out of it, or you should know how to get out of it, and it's not easy, but you want to do it. Same concept, kinda. So, for me, being transgender is that you need some sort of dysphoria, be it voice dysphoria, because like with me, I have voice dysphoria, top dysphoria, and a little bottom dysphoria. I'm not entirely sure about bottom dysphoria quite yet, but bottom dysphoria just means like genital dysphoria. Top dysphoria means like breast or no breast dysphoria. So if you have top dysphoria and you are a male to female or an MTF um, transgender person, you feel like you need breasts. That's that right? Male to female, you want breasts. FTM would be you don't want your breasts, so you bind. Binding just means you compress your chest, or you wear sports bras, or a designed thing that are designed by some. There are a few companies out there that make binders for. There's like the companies are designed around binders and transgender products that are for a certain type of transgender or a certain gender or a certain like a certain area of transgender dysphoria, because like some of them focus on binders, some of them focus on packers. Packers, I'll explain when I explain bottom dysphoria. So yeah, and you binding your chest or compressing your chest with a sports bra or a binder or even bandages or tape. I don't recommend tape because that can lead to harm. I would, if I were a female to male, I would do sports bras or binders. I know they are expensive, but I'd rather be safe than feel dysphoric. Because I feel euphoric when I wear tight jeans and nails and makeup and everything, but I'd rather live than feel euphoric for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Because if you guys don't know, I live in Las Vegas. It's a city. You guys probably heard of it before. It's like Los Angeles or whatever. It's a big city. There are a lot of queer people out here, and there are a lot of trans people out here. But there's also a lot of gang activity, a lot of homophobia, a lot of not riots, but protests. There's there's pros and cons about being in the city. Um, bottom dysphoria. Bottom dysphoria means you have genitalia dysphoria, where you feel like if you're female to male, you want to take your vagina, start testosterone. I'll explain the hormones later. You take testosterone, you add skin to your genital area. I don't know how exactly how it's done. And you add skin and grow a penis that you can actually pee out of, you can actually use for play, you can, and it's a fully functional penis besides the semen and sperm. Well, I'm not sure about semen, but you can't produce sperm and stuff like that, to my knowledge, so far. Um, and if you're male to female, you can. I'm not entirely sure how the process is because I haven't really looked in it for me, but I've looked into it for other people because I prioritize other people over me, so I look up for them. And there's more about female to male than there is to male to female. That's just how it is. Um, so there's that where there's surgeries, there's hormones, there's hormone patches, there's hormone syringes, pills, and list goes on. So hormones you can take, there's estrogen, there's testosterone. Those are the two mainstream, if not the only two out there, right? So testosterone can be taken in. Hold up, I had it. It was pills, injections, and one other oral pills. Hold up. By the way, I'm going from. My tab was so slow. I had this up and everything waiting, so I could tell you guys without buffering. There is oral, there are patches, and there are syringes for female to male. For male to female, there's androgen, oral estrogen, and shot. There's like needle shots, and then there's patches. And that is off of bumc.bu.edu. Clinics, practical guidelines for testosterone hormone treatment. or HRT, hormone replacement therapy, meaning HRT. Um, then there's, like I said, when I went to bottom, sorry, I covered Packers. Packers are female to male tools. I don't know a better way to describe it. It's a tool for you to have a visual and possibly, depending on how much you want to spend, money wise, you can. There's there's a lot of Packers out there. There's ones where you can send like you attach to your vagina and you pee out of, and you can attach it to where you can have sex with your partner. There's Packers where you can do those two, and also because Packers are meant initially, I believe they were meant for looks. And if you're broke, you can put socks together in a certain way. I'm gonna ask around for my trans friends to teach me how to make them, and I'll show you guys in a video. But you can put socks together in a certain way and do it that way, or you can do it to where it looks like you actually have a penis that is actually made out of socks, even though you are naked. I'm not sure how to do that. Like I said, I'm asking around. Um, and then for male to females, there is a concept of tucking. I have not mastered it. I really wish I have, but tucking is where you tuck your penis a certain way and it stays that way so you appear more flat instead of having a bulge. And like I said, this is no script. This is no script whatsoever. Um, yeah, that's about it for dysphoria wise. I identify as, like I said, I identify as non-binary, which means I don't identify either male or female. And I know someone's gonna say, "Oh, so what are you? An alien? Apache attack helicopter? Are you? Do you identify as faggot? Do you, etc. etc." Sorry for cursing, but there's someone out there, I bet, who's gonna do that. But no, I identify as non-binary. That is a valid gender. If you identify as new choice, that is a valid gender. If you identify as anything, new choice, I'll explain on a later date. Because I've actually thought about moving to that. But the Google definition of non-binary: one, not relating to, composed of, or involving just two things. Denoting or relating to gender or sexual identity that is not defined in terms of traditional binary positions such as male and female, or homosexual and heterosexual. Relating to, using, or demoting a system of numeral notification to have two as a base. So, the definition I'm talking about is the second one: demoting or relating to as a gender or sexual identity that is not defined in terms of traditional binary oppositions. So, non-binary, for me, it just means I don't feel comfortable with he or her pronouns. I don't feel like I am the stereotypical guy who, or male, who needs or wants a bushy beard, mustache. I don't feel like I need flat chest either, but all men have flat chests. So females have rounded chests and rounded hips. So I feel like I want those traits but not have a vagina either. That makes sense. It is not physically possible yet, to my knowledge, as of, what is today's date? 8/15/2019. I apologize for that. So yeah, non-binary just means you don't identify as male or female. You use they them pronouns. Usually, you use they them pronouns. And if you say they or them is plural, you can look at Shakespeare's writings. They say, I forgot what it was, but it was talking about the family and how they should retreat, how that child should treat their parents, and how they should uh, treat with respect or something like that. No, I'm not talking about the Bible, but I think in the Holy Bible it also says they should do this, meaning singular. So if there's any homophobes that are preaching to you, or transphobes in this case, you can say, but you guys are using they pronouns in your book. So if you have an issue with it, talk to the man upstairs. All I'm saying. But that's my 2 cents. Value it or not. My next video I will do heterosexual and cisgenderism, which a lot of you should know, because if you are thinking of being transgender, you know what cisgenderism is, and if you're questioning your sexuality, you should know what heterosexuality is. I said sexism, but heterosexism is where you force upon heterosexuality upon. So, like, if there's a group of guys and there's this gay guy in that group, and he's like, "Oh, are we gonna get you a girl since you were a chick magnet or whatever?" That's heterosexism, kinda. I think that's the best way I can explain it off the top of my head without looking at anything. And yeah. So today, I think that was the video. Transgender, non-binary. That's all I got. Bye!